dance around the Tipperary defender and sends the ball in towards Conor McGrath. Tipperary well aware of the danger of that Clare full forward line as the ball drops down into the Clare half of the field. The sliotar is loose and available. It comes to David McInerney, the Tullaman, son of Jim, 95 side, lashing it down into the Tipperary half of the field. Clare into the attack, trying to burst down as John Conlon. He has the ball in his hand. He leaves it up there as Shane O'Donnell. The referee has blown his whistle. No advantage accruing. It is a free in for Clare.
Yeah, that has been an issue all the year, the lack of advantage here. But you see John Connor, I think, you know, he's very, very strong. Getting away there from Seamus Kennedy and Dunamar. And referee could have left it go on. I think he was just about to pass the ball. Now, it might have been a little throw, so a free into Clare. But it just shows how dangerous Conlon can be. And another significant moment, I think, in the early stage was Tony Kelly picked up the first ball way back, almost to his own 45, and I think he's going to roam, and that can create problems for Pádraig Maher if Tony Kelly is on the money with his delivery into the corner forwards.
Peter Duggan from Clooney Quinn, beautiful part of the county of Clare, gets the Banner County up and running with his first score of this Munster Championship match in Thurles. Strategically placed at right half forward for the Clare puckouts. I'm sure you'll see it develop during the afternoon. For Brian Hogan, Tipperary goalkeeper, he's going for distance. Ball is batted down into the middle. Colin Galvin is on it. In comes Peter Duggan, but Tipperary have the possession. And going through, good work here by Don McCormack. Referee blows his whistle. And running at the Clare defence. It's an early sign, perhaps, that it could be a worry for Clare. John McGrath was the player actually coming through here, being pursued by Jack Brown.
Yeah, just a little tug by Jack Brown, and significant there, Marty, that you know, Brian Hogan just lettered the ball down, dropping on the centre forward position until John McGrath came out, flicked it down to himself, had a bit of trouble picking up, but ran through strongly, and that's one of his trademarks.
Jason Ford taking his first free of the afternoon. It's his first opportunity. It's over the bar. Coming into this match, a remarkable tally of 3 goals and 29 points in just 3 championship games. From Michael Ryan, he'll want a far better first half performance, because against Cork and Waterford he was trailing by 9 and 11. There's a Tipperary man and a Clare man down injured. That's Dan McCormack. He's down for the Tipperary
Tony
side.
Kelly, I think, Marty, I think. We'll see just a clash here.
Both going for the ball, yes. And this is it from a different angle. Both players had their eyes on the ball. Still doesn't ease the pain.
Well, Dan McCormack, of course, he plays in the wing, right half forward, and he drops into the middle to try and block that ball going into his defence. Tony Kelly coming out fast. Obviously in a pre-planned move, I'd say, but both players, while Tony Kelly's up, Dan McCormack's still down, and he'd be a huge loss to Tipperary because he's a great worker up and down that right wing.
Dan McCormack from Borrisoleigh won 2 Fitzgibbon Cup medals with UCC in his shooting days, playing in his 14th championship match today for his county. Yeah. He scored the crucial goal, of course, against Limerick that certainly was important on the day. Didn't recover enough, though, for Tipperary to win.
It raised the temperature that day. Yeah. You thought maybe that it might be a springboard for them, but obviously in a tackle like that, when you're coming in both eyes on the ball, you're not certain, or you're not sure you're going to get a hit, and they can knock the wind out of it for a while. But free to Pádraig Maher now. He can't score from this.
Good to see Tony and Dan back in the action as Pádraig Maher sends that ball up into the Tipperary attack. John McGrath looks very sharp. Good stick work. He's still holding on to the sliotar, playing a little bit too fancy, but they retain the possession. Crossfield ball is aimed at Pádraig Maher. The Bonner has it inside the D. Trying to get past Conor Clare. The referee blows the whistle for a high challenge. And again, I'll highlight the fact that Tipperary running at the Clare defence seems to cause problems. Bit of a concern.
You know, this player, Conor Clare, just a very high hand there around the shoulder. You're always going to get pulled for that, particularly toward the wire. This is his first year at the top level of refereeing, and you know, he's going to probably referee things by the book. But Seamus Callan is playing in the left corner. John McGrath is on the right, and McGrath definitely has had a good ball so far. And Jason Ford will tap this over now.
Made his championship debut against Kilkenny back in 2013, but it's only this year that Jason Ford has really established himself as a crucial cog. In the Alliance League, he was outstanding in the championship so far. equally brilliant. Donald Toohey will look at his options. Decides to go down this side of the field, dropping it down, surprise, surprise, towards Peter Duggan. Tipperary sideline ball. It's going to be taken by Ronan Maher. Played well against Waterford when Tipperary were struggling. Wonderful centre half back, now playing midfield, scored 3 points against Kadesha. It's a good sideline cut as well, puts the Clare lads under pressure. Picked up by Jason Ford and sent straight between the posts. He is in lethal form. Should have been possibly cleared by Clare. They got their fingertips to it. Jason Ford grabbed it and the sliotar flew between the posts. Took out his aim this time at David Reedy. Tipperary looked very eager, very sharp. Any mistake at all of handling by Clare punished by the Tipperary lads as they go into the attack once again. Good hook by Carl Malone, native of Ennis-Diamond, plays club hurling with 6 Mile Bridge. Well danced by Jack Brown, and Clare worked themselves out of trouble. Comes for his Jamie Shanahan. For his Tony Callan. Diagonal ball, good ball. John Conlon is the target. He has it in his hand. Doesn't hang about. Oh, that is going to be a great point if it's over the bar. The umpires are happy enough, and it is a point for John Conlon. Really good score.
Yeah, that all came from Tony Kelly picking up the ball in his own 45 as Clare walked the ball very, very well out of defence. He had the time then to pick it out, and by placing the ball into the right corner, Conlon likes to play, hit the ball on his left-hand side, and that's the ideal corner for him, and a fine point by John Conlon there.
Double checking, I think the referee is going for a Hawkeye. The umpires did have a quick consultation, they were happy enough. Let's just double check here with Hawkeye.
Well, maybe Hawkeye have gone to the referee, Marty, because it shows up as a miss on the computer screen in the Hawkeye box, and then maybe they communicated to it that it was actually just wide. But it'll be interesting to see what happens here, because I didn't see the umpire. I thought he went for the flag. I didn't see him make the sign. They make a square sign, but it's slower here, of course, than in Croke Park.
Still technically just being sorted out, and Paul Dwyer, the referee, is waiting for it.
And I think, Marty, as far as I know, you're not added on. No seconds are added on for Hawkeye, which, if you were a point down with a half a minute left, because this is very, very long, to be honest with you.
Here comes Hawkeye now. Is it inside the post or outside? Looks like it's going to be outside. That's a kneel normally. I don't think there's a kneel in Thurles or a thaw. And it's a kneel. We can confirm that ball is wide. I think you're right, Donald. I think it was Hawkeye that got in contact with the officials.
Yeah, because every score is monitored, and every score is,
The umpire has now just waved the ball wide, so it remains at 3 points to 1.
Yeah, and just looking down at the pitch, I think Dan McCormick's coming off and Noel McGrath's coming on for Tip, and that'd be a huge loss, because McCormick has been one of their most impressive players, and I think there's a malfunction with Hawkeye, but surely they could just get the message to the ref that was wide and let them signal wide at the umpires.
It was obviously communicated to the umpire, because he did wave his arms out that it was wide, so it remains 3 points to 1. We can confirm that Noel McGrath is on at right half forward instead of Dan McCormick. Ball becomes loose and available. David McInerney leaving it behind him momentarily. Conor Cleary is there, giving it back. Tipperary a little bit slow. Great pressure by Clare, rather slow, but Tipperary great pressure, and it's a sideline ball. But you sense that the Tipperary full forward line, in fact half of them, all forwards, are chasing and harassing the Clare defence and not allowing them to get a free puck of the ball.
Yeah, I've noticed immediately that the line ball is going down now, and David McInerney, who's a bit of a line ball specialist, can hit the ball maybe 70-80 metres. Cathal Barrett has dropped back straight away onto Peter Duggan as extra cover there, and Paddy Maher has dropped right back into the pocket, so that if the ball comes through, that he'll pick it up.
Just off camera as well, and seeing that Jerry O'Connor is checking with the fourth official to know was that a point or not, but on the field of play it is indeed Noel McGrath. disappointed, no doubt, to be left out of the starting 15. And this is a smashing point along the sideline. Ronan Marr, who produced 3 points against Waterford, does it again. Wonderful, wonderful score.
Fine score, Marty. You know, you'll be sometimes talking to players and saying, look, don't play the percentage, don't go for shots from narrow angles, but obviously the confidence is up at tip at the moment.
Long ball not working on the Tipperary half-back line, or rather not working for the Clare half-forward line, as the Tipperary half-back line are dominant. In comes Seamus Callanan. Under pressure there was Patrick O'Connor. Manages to get it back. Conor Cleary lobs it high. Ferris right half-back David Fitzgerald. Tipperary look the hungrier side, going chasing everything as the ball drops in. This one is tailing to the right and wide, and it is in fact Tipperary's first wide of the game, off the stick of Cathal Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett broke through there, but he had nobody really to pass it and decided to go for a score. I'd say he didn't really want to go, but Clare walked the ball out again with a short ball to David McInerney, and on now to Colm Galvin.
Colm Malone giving it for his Colm Galvin, leaving it on for his David Reedy. David right in front of Mick Ryan, the Tipperary manager, has a lash, but it's gone to the left and wide for Clare's second wide of the game. Clare haven't scored since the second minute, and we're now heading towards the 12th minute. That's 10 minutes gone without a score for Clare. That includes the debate about John Conlon's point. Ball breaks inside towards Billy McCarthy. Peerless man, past the first challenge, heading for the second, shoots. Oh, what a goal! Billy McCarthy, an absolute cracker that left Donald Toohey diving to his left, but in fresh air. What a shot!
Yeah, there was a screamer, Marty. You know, there was sort of topspin on it. If you look at it, it just dipped as it was passing the keeper. Watch it again there now, it just dipped a little bit. Donald Toohey, no chance, and you know, that's a huge confidence booster now for Tip. And you know, they'll want to push on from here, but they've started well. The last few matches they played, they didn't start well in the first half. That'll give them great confidence.
Since 2 o'clock, Tipperary look to be that sharper side as Conor McGrath gets his first touch of the ball, giving it back for his Colm Galvin, and that is floating to the right and wide. Tipperary have started as they intend to finish, but this is by far and away the best opening 13 minutes that we've seen of Tipperary in the Munster Championship. And this is their fourth and final game, remember, in the round robin, and everything is dependent on it. It's a sideline ball. Conor Cleary just reaching the sliotar as the ball crossed the line, but there already was a Clare ball.
And that's the first one that's gone astray for Tip, Marty. That's the first puck out that they didn't actually win. And, you know, it doesn't give Clare any advantage if Tip win this sideline on.
Again, the Tipperary half-back line sharp and eager. Falling back in, Corey Barr looking around, swinging it over to the far over side. John McGrath chasing after it, pulls the brakes, gets the sliotar in the hand, looking very eager as Jack Brown seems to be struggling. Ball inside towards Jason Ford. Donald Toohey stays on his goal line. David McInerney chases after it, gets there, tries to get there ahead. Jason Ford, but the ball is gone off the Tipperary man, and the umpire signals it's wide.
Yeah, first toss there, Marty, was that they had got a 65, but obviously there was no protest, so we just watch it there now. Inconclusive, I'd say.
Inconclusive, yeah.
But the important thing for Clare, Marty, is that they have a very strong full forward line, and they're not really feeding them any possession at the moment, I think.
Well, they must be hearing you, because it's a straight ball from Toohey to John Conlon, but again, yes, the umpire in fact has given the point, and it's over the bar. So this is in fact John Conlon's first point of the match, and a badly needed score for the Banner. Straight from Donald Toohey's puck out, John Conlon's big left hand over the bar. A little bit better, more good fielding by Clare. Tipperary backs look very sharp. They're first to the ball most of the time. Brendan Maher back at number 7, giving it to Paddy Maher, gets by the first challenge, lashes this in. Should be an easy ball for the Clare keeper, Donald Toohey. The referee has blown his whistle, saying there was a chop down after Paddy Maher hit the sliotar, and that's going to be a free for Tipperary just inside their own half. Just to give you an update from the Gaelic grounds in Limerick, Limerick 2 goals, 7 points. Waterford 2 points. So a great start for the Shannonsiders. Not such a good start for Jerry O'Connor's team here, as Clare seem to be struggling against a Tipperary team that looks very sharp.
Yeah, Marty, that last ball that Paddy Maher hit, no Tipperary player was actually inside 40 metres, so Paddy Maher just had to go for a score. It was falling short, bit of indiscipline. Chance now for Ford.
Jason Ford on his own 65-metre line. He really is the man on form. Great score, 4 points for Jason Ford. "28-year-old Donald Toohey from Cusheen with the puck out. Dropping it down towards Shane O'Donnell. Ball breaks loose and available. Tipperary backs again, all over it. Conor McGrath battling, so too is Peter Duggan. Ball comes loose and available. Up goes Malone, batting it down. Brendan Maher sends it up to the Clare half of the field. Come back is Patrick O'Connor, the Clare captain. Taken down, and that's going to be a free for that foul by John McGrath. Patrick O'Connor takes it quickly into the centre. There is Colm Galvin. Colm Galvin laying it off. We haven't seen so much of Tony Kelly in the last 10 minutes as that ball is sent in. But again, the umpires are being kept busy by the Clare team at the moment. 4 wides in a row there, and off the stick of Jamie Shanahan.
Yeah, Jamie Shanahan just needed to step by Noel McGrath there and just let the ball down the sideline.
Comes back for his called Barrett, and that is whipped straight between the posts and over the bar. All-star cornerback in 2016, Young Player of the Year 2014, and at midfield he seems to have a lot more room to hurl. Ball breaks out. There is David Reedy, the road man from the town of Ennis. Is fouled, and that's a free for Clare. 17.5 minutes gone. Tipperary 7-point advantage, and worth every single score, though.
Yeah, and Tipper putting a lot of pressure on Clare, and we just saw the ball go off Colm Galvin's hands. He's normally very, very sharp, and you would have expected him to field that ball, but just indicates a little bit of nervousness on Clare's part. Crucial strike now for Malone.
Peter Duggan with the free. Takes the point. And so far, Clare have only managed 2 hurlers to score in this match. Peter Duggan on your television screen at the moment with 2 frees. John Conlon the other one. Brian Hogan with the puck out. Delivers it down towards Billy McCarthy. Knocked away. Brendan Maher comes in with a one-handed touch. Sideline ball going to the Banner County. Colm Galvin coming across to take it. Clonlara man. This was on the Clare minor team that won the Munster minor with Tony Kelly and Shane O'Morey and others as they began their hurling inter-county career, culminating with that All-Ireland win in 2013. Amazingly, Clare haven't been back to Croke Park in 5 years. If they lose this, it could be 6 as Tony Kelly sends this in, and again it's to the left and wide. 5 wides for Clare, and you have to give credit to the Tipperary midfielders and defenders, because they are putting in the hard work today.
Well, it was Seamus Callan actually that followed David Fitzgerald down the field and made life uncomfortable for him, and you would have felt that Tony Kelly could have taken on a little bit more.
Ball comes across to the Midtown Malvern man Conor Cleary. Slipped and then made the mistake of throwing the ball. It's a simple giveaway when you're playing against a Tipperary side that contains Jason Ford. Simple mistakes will be punished. This just to the right of the post. Decided to, well, I thought they were going to take it quickly, but they opted against it, Tipperary. The linesman indicating where the free should be taken.
Jason Ford has been in great form from both in general play. Missed a few last week, all right, but everything he gets as a placed ball, he's striking straight between the posts, and he should get this one.
Going for his 5th point in the match. Not a problem. 1-7 Tipperary, 3 points Clare. Puck out, skips by the half-forward line, runs on first Conor McGrath. As Clare tried with David Reedy to create something, backfires McGrath. Looking around, half blocked again, good defending Tipperary. Ball comes across to Brendan Maher, All-Ireland winning captain a few years ago, stepping up to the challenge, using the hand pass. There's another Maher, no relation, it's the Bonner Maher. Good to see him back. Great hurling by Tipperary. Can they finish? Oh my word, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful hurling, and great score.
Yeah, it's more of a confusion there, though, whether it was a point or not. They're looking for a Hawkeye now.
Once again we go to Hawkeye. It looked like the umpires seem to be adamant, but they're again consulting with the umpire. The second time.
Yeah, obviously there was a bit of confusion there, but I was surprised that Seamus Callan didn't just turn and take on Pat O'Connor at that stage. He had a metre or two, he was heading out, and I think possibly he should have just turned and taken him on, and if he had to, just tap it over the bar then.
Well, the ball has been confirmed wide. You might have seen it on your screen, but it is confirmed by the umpire. The ball is wide as Peter Duggan takes the sliotar in from the air and grabs it down. It was a great movement though by Tipperary, I have to say, Donald. Disappointment at the end that Seamus Callan didn't put it over the bar.
Yeah, but Marty, for me, top class forward like Seamus Callan, like, he had 2 metres separation between himself and Pat O'Connor. I thought he should have turned and ran at him. He has bags of pace, bags of experience, and once there's a threat in the mind of the cornerback, he's under pressure. Then does he go right, does he go left? And I think Callan had a goal chance there if he had turned and ran.
Here's Peter Duggan taking his 3rd point of the match and keeping Clare hopes alive, getting a little bit closer. 1-7 now to 4 points. Ball breaks down for Scott Barrett, just skidded off the surface, floats it in around the square. Oh, that's a great catch, lays it off. Donald Toohey has come off his line. Referee has blown his whistle and he's giving an indication that there was a jersey pull. Donald Toohey has picked up a knock, but the Tipperary players were immediately protesting. This was a fantastic take, great catch. Donald Toohey coming out, but the referee at that stage had blown his whistle.
Yeah, great catch there by Jason Ford, Marty. But what if he had taken a step or two himself in possession, then he could have just knocked the ball into Seamus Callan. Gave the pass away as he was being tackled, and it turned his hand a little bit, and a little bit more composure, I think, and there's goals there for Tip.
Jason Ford, half a dozen points now to his credit when he puts that over the bar. 6 points for Jason Ford. 1-8 Tipperary, Clare 4 points.
Oh, Marty, just looking at the game as it is, right, Clare's full forward line is their best line, right, on the field, and yet they've got one ball, a direct puck out from Donald Toohey to John Conlon. After that, very little supply. I'd say one ball, if any, has gone into them.
Again, he's aiming for Peter Duggan, knocked away by Brendan Maher. That tactic is not working. Comes for his Billy McCarthy, spreading it over wide towards John McGrath. Leaves it on nicely for his brother Noel, who obviously called for it. Has it the legs? Has it the accuracy? The answer to both is a definitive yes. Noel McGrath's first point in this Munster Championship clash with Clare. The McGrath brothers cocktail combination, it's class.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of the two McGraths on the side. You know, they have a sort of a telepathic understanding, and great score from Noel. And I think Noel is very anxious to show that, you know, that he was wronged maybe by being not selected from the off.
Ball breaks off the fingertips of Seamus Kennedy. Brendan Maher back to Seamus Kennedy, who plays his club hurling, by the way, with St Mary's in Clonmel. Football with Clonmel commercials. And unfortunately for Seamus, he just overcarried here, and that's going to be a free for Clare.
Yeah, if you look, I thought he was being fouled, to be honest with you, Marty. I thought he was a free hand there, you know, but refs seem to be leaving that go again. We saw a lot of it in last night's game. Kilkenny and Wexford and Limerick were pulling and dragging, we say, against Cork with a free hand, as are most teams nowadays. But refs clamped down it for a few years, but that was definitely a free out for Seamus Kennedy first, but he should have came out the sideline with the ball. Peter
Duggan squeezes this inside the far over post, getting his 4th point of the match. And that's the inconsistency on that free, Dawn, because Conor Cleary was punished a while ago for doing the high challenge, and Seamus Kennedy was fouled there a moment ago and didn't get one.
Martin, we have only an hour and a half to discuss inconsistency of referees, etc. But it's maybe the ref doesn't see it, but his officials are wired up.
Tony Kelly with the opportunity, and again the umpires are getting plenty of exercise. It's the 6th wide of the match for Clare. If they get their radar working, they'll be fine, but right now the tally of wides is increasing.
2 in a row there from Tony Kelly.
Puck out down for Malone. Good hands, comes from football territory above in North Clare, and then it's Diamond getting it down for Peter Duggan. First touch Not great defending by Brendan Marr. Comes past John McGrath. Looking around to see who's available. Cathal Barrett was coming through with John McGrath. Oh, he's going to curl it magnificently. What a point, John McGrath. Fantastic score.
Yeah, and I think he's one of the top forwards in Ireland, if not at the very top. 6 positions already, Marty, and he's the one player, you know, that the opponents wouldn't want to see on the ball, but marvellous score from John McGrath that time. But he's in the game, he's up for it, as is his brother Noel. Tipperary
dominant. Seemed to go over the sideline or throw a ball, a taker option. I think Paul Dwyer blowed the whistle there, as Dunamar was a bit unfortunate. It's a sideline ball for Clare. But you know, the point you were making, Donal, a moment ago of that Clare full forward line, Conor McGrath, John Conlon and Shane O'Donnell, I don't think Shane has even touched the ball as of yet. The quality ball has been, to say the least, poor from Clare into that inner line.
Well, you would have to say that probably Tipper dominating the middle third, and that's why they're not getting any ball in. You know, we saw a bad wide there from Jamie Shanahan. Colm Galvin missed 1 or 2, so they're not settling on the ball, and the minute they get the ball, Cathal Barrett particularly is dropping back.
Obviously Dunamar threw the ball. As a result, it was a free, and Peter Duggan gets his 5th point of the game. He's keeping the banner very much in the game. But that scoreline is a bit intimidating with almost 27 minutes gone. Tipperary 110, Clare 6 points. Tony Kelly needs to sparkle. It could well be Clare's turn to have a comeback rather than Tipperary's. Now we have Shane O'Donnell. Looks around. Pass is not a great one. He'd been better off going himself, perhaps. Could still work out. Conor McGrath. Clare, that first touch is not great. Just dropping the ball back out again. Now Tipperary have reorganised. Colm Galvin. In comes Billy the Kid. Billy McCarthy, having scored a goal. The Thurles man is on fire. Over fires Ronan Marr. 2 Thurles lads sending the ball up towards John McGrath and company. Noel McGrath is in the corner, being held off by Jack Brown. In comes the Clare captain, Patrick O'Connor. Surely Noel McGrath was being held. Referee said play on. Comes down for Tony Kelly. Has the time to compose himself. Clare need a score. Tony Kelly's body language says it all. It's to the left and wide. Terrible shooting by the banner. 7 wides now.
Yeah, 7 wides, and you know, you get some odds in the bookies that Tony Kelly will get 3 shots. The last 3 shots at goal that Clare have had, it was Tony Kelly, each one of them just sliding away on the left hand side, so obviously the ball's spinning off his hurley somewhere.
Here comes Tipperary again. Jamie Callan getting it in towards John McGrath. Jason Ford, he's gone out over the line. Good pressure by Clare, and that's going to be a sideline ball for Clare, just in front of the Clare dugout. It's going to be taken by David Fitzgerald from Aina Kilnamona. He's now firmly established himself on the Clare senior hurling team. Wasn't part of the under-21 All-Ireland victories, but still a really good player, and Shane O'Donnell can't keep it in, and that's going to be a sideline ball. Clare have only registered 6 scores in this match, but only 1 point from play, and that was from John Conlon.
Yeah, and that was direct from a puck out, Marty. He just fielded the ball on the 20-metre line and stuck it over the bar. So, you know, it tells Clare maybe, you know, get a bit more direct. First good ball that went into Shane O'Donnell, and David Reedy missed the pass, and I think that's what the only way that Clare can get back into this game is feed their full forward line quickly.
Again, the fingertips, the handling by Clare is very poor. The first touch, it works out fine here, well, almost, but really they need to rectify that situation pretty rapidly, because Tipperary are snapping at the bit as such and ready to have a go at it. And they're proving to be the better team in this opening half. Bonamar trying to scoop it out. Peter Duggan comes in on his knees. Still, Tipperary come away with it. Good play. In towards the corner, towards Noel McGrath. Giving it back to his brother John. This one floating in, and this one just going to the wrong side of the post and wide. Still remains 110-6. Puck out is short. 2 players going for it, ran into each other. Picked up here by Jamie Shanahan, dropping it down towards John Conlon and company. Comes first Peter Duggan. Is he going to go for it? Here comes the shot, and again ball is wide. Shane O'Donnell is going into protest. Referee has blown his whistle and out for 65. Let's have a look at this again, Donald.
Yeah, Peter Duggan fielded the ball, and I think it came off the tip man and out for the 65. I think the umpire, in fairness, he was just going to blow away and he put up his hand for the 65. But that showed that was direct ball down, fielded, and they run through. And maybe there'll be a bit of joy for Clare if they put in the high ball. Duggan very, very tall, good under the high ball. John Connon in there as well, and Clare badly need a goal. You just brought up the stat there, 6 points, you know, only 1 from play. You know, Clare would really want to motor on, you know, before half time.
Once again, it's Peter Duggan. Jerry O'Connor and Donald Maloney. It's not been a good first half. I think they'll be most disappointed with the first touch, the fingertips, the sliotar not sticking like glue.
Well, I think they've brought in a good tactic in the last few puck outs. You know, the last they've moved the ball short and worked it out the pitch. Tony Kelly comes, drops off, then gets the ball, and they transfer it in.
Peter Duggan, low trajectory, but the ball is wide. 8 wides for Clare. They really need to get the sat-nav working because they can't seem to find the goalposts.
Well, you know, you can't have a 65 straight in front of the goal, but that was as near as you could get to it, and I'm surprised at that, Marty. And those wides and those misses sap morale.
Absolutely. Conor Cleary coming across to gather this, ahead of Bonner-Marr, laying it back. There's Jack Brown. Jack Brown sending it along, up towards Shane O'Donnell, batted away. Conor McGrath trying to grab the sliotar, good defending by Tipperary. Bonner-Marr is in there. So too is Sean O'Brien, and it's Tipperary to come away with it once more. Taking ball down the middle of the field. Colm Galvin chasing this, flicking it forward. Over first David Fitzgerald. Gets by the first challenge, giving it on. Much better. Tony Kelly is unmarked. What's he going to do? Trying to get past that challenge. He decides to have a go, and that is over the bar. Much better. The marking by Tipperary on this occasion was lax, and Tony Kelly seemed to be undecided, but eventually, through knowing that Tipperary had double marked him, took his score.
Padraig Marr's marker was occupied on the right hand side, and they walked the ball out, but lost by Carl Barron, and David Fitzgerald transferred it quickly, and a very, very good score from Tony Kelly. So if he can get into that position a bit more often, he'll do damage.
Peter Duggan and David Fitzgerald battling for Clare. Noel McGrath battling for Tipperary. This is Peter Duggan. Nowhere to go. The referee has given the free to the banner. This free, as you can see, is just going to be inside the Clare 65-metre line. Peter Duggan using all his strength and physique to try and stay within the parameters of the pitch, and eventually fouled.
Yeah, manhandled, I think, is the term, Marty, over the line. Now, having missed the previous 65, this is a big pressure puck.
Here he comes. It's looking good. It's going all the way. Never in any doubt. Hit it perfectly. That's much better.
Yeah, and that will bring back his confidence, Marty. You're always, after when you miss a free, you're always worried about the next one. And it was a difficult one, but he stroked it over nicely, and that'll bring Clare back in. And if they could get another 1 or 2 points before half-time, they'll certainly be in this game for the second half.
Brian Hogan goes for the far over side with the puck out. Comes down for John McGrath. Ball into the middle. Picked up by Shamie Callanan. Referee says play on. Clare beginning to hit harder. Tony Kelly looks around. Shane O'Donnell, good ball. Has to control it, he does. Nice skill. Oh, there's a great interception, and it's O'Donnell again. Peter Duggan has gone inside. The call is coming from outside. It comes from Tony Kelly, past the 45, steadies it on the stick, shoots and scores. Much better, Clare. Much better, Tony Kelly.
Yeah, well, Marty, if you know, that's from feeding the ball into the legs of Shane O'Donnell. Not the greatest point taker himself, but he's always looking to bring players into the play. And a lovely little pass lay off to Tony Kelly, and a great score.
3 minutes of additional time. Clare have been in slumberland for the first 33, 32, 34 minutes as I look at the clock. Can they get more scores before the break? Picked up here by Noel McGrath. Sent in towards Brother John and company. Ball breaks free. This is indeed Brother John. Tackle double marked on this occasion, trying to get away from the shackles of the Clare defence. Billy McCarthy comes across. Colm Galvin, this is better from Clare. hit a fair shoulder by Carl Barrett, still didn't fall to the ground. Good tackling by Tipperary. Ball becomes loose and available. Jack Brown is there. So too is Billy McCarthy. Billy shoots and Billy sends it to the wrong side of the post and wide. 5 wides for Tipperary. Much better from Clare, playing with greater intensity. Tipperary haven't scored since the 25th minute. That's 10 minutes ago. As Clare go in search of more scores, they have to watch the breaking ball. Picked up once again by Paddy Maher. And as he was getting out, he was fouled, and that is a free for Tipperary.
What you can notice there, Mark, in the last 5 minutes, Clare have begun to hit a bit, a bit more in their half-back line, taking on Tip a bit, and Tip taking the wrong option, even to John McGrath there, instead of giving an easy pass back to Ronan Maher, tried to give an impossible one across the middle, and Clare are beginning to get the grips with Tip now, and I think they figured before half-time they need a few more scores on the board, and they're running at them a little bit more.
Jason Ford is between his own 45 and 65, dead straight as such in front of the posts. Slight breeze has developed, which favours Clare at the moment. Jason Ford gives it plenty of air, and that is coming back off the post. Bonamar is underneath it. So too is Conor Cleary. Patrick O'Connor is in support, but Conor Cleary can't keep it from going out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Tipperary.
And just down underneath us, I think Podge Collins is getting ready to enter the fray. Not quite sure who's coming off yet, Marty, but I think before half-time, if he can bring a little bit of energy to him, maybe David Reedy.
Pat Fitzgerald has just filled in the piece of paper, which will be handed to the 4th official. Podge is mad anxious to get in off camera while we wait and see what Ronan Maher is going to do, as Ronan Maher cuts this in towards Bonamar. Colm Galvin on his knees trying to gather it. David Reedy just won't come up for him either. Still David Reedy battling his way out. The old man has plenty of heart and determination. Great passion by David Reedy. Free going to be taken by Donald Toohey. And the referee is allowing the substitution, and Conor McGrath is the player that has been taken off, and Podge Collins has gone in.
Well, you might be asking yourself the question, what did I do wrong? And that nothing came my way, but that's the decision made. Podge might play out a little bit more in the middle of the field now, and maybe letting Shane O'Donnell and John Conlon inside.
Sideline ball, Clare. Clare playing with far greater intensity in the last 5 or 6 minutes. I am genuinely surprised that Conor McGrath has gone off, because he wasn't really getting quality ball or doing anything wrong. But Podge is in, and Tony Kelly is claiming a free, but the referee, Conor Dwyer, has decided that that is half-time. A very impressive first half performance by Tipperary, as Clare still protest over that last decision. But Clare coming back into it. They've been asleep for most of that first half, but they're showing a lot more determination now. At half-time here in Semple Stadium, Thurles, Tipperary 1 goal and 10 points. Clare 9 points. Don't go away. Analysis coming your way right after the break.
It is halfway through this make or break clash at Semple Stadium, and it is Tipperary who lead Clare by 1 goal and 10 points to 9 points. There is confirmation of the scorelines so far, and that goal, of course, coming for Tip from Billy McCarthy. Let's see what the panel think about all of that. Liam Sheedy, you've started this game very brightly. I presume the way Tip are going this summer, that means a collapse in the second half.
Well, that's what you'd worry about, I mean, are they half on the first half? But, looking at it, they've been very happy with that first 25 minutes.
Yeah.
110 to 5 points, I would say, in control in every sector of the field. Getting good quality ball inside. And even when it wasn't going in right, the inside forward line and the forwards were working hard not to let the ball back out easy. So at 110 to 5 points, very much everything going according to plan. But the last 10 minutes, Clare got 4 points without reply. All of a sudden, it's 110 to 9 points. And in a game where they look to be cruising, now all of a sudden, it really is game on again. And you just wonder, is it fourth week in a row, is there a bit of mental fatigue setting in, physical fatigue setting in? And that is the big question now, because like the next 10-15 minutes now is going to dictate their season, because if they can come out and pick up where they started in the first half, they'll be fine. If they come out and end up lethargic like they were in the last 10 minutes, they're going to find themselves in a real match here and in a real battle.
We're talking about the 4 games in a row. From a Clare point of view, Ger, they've had a break, so you would think they would be nice and fresh for this game, and they have looked a little bit off the pace, I have to say.
Yeah, and I suppose you could say with same with Kilkenny last night. You know, they had the break as well.
Yeah.
And Wexford with the 4 games in a row, and they looked kind of lethargic in the first half. But look at the gate is half open at least for Clare. It should be closed long ago. It should be they should be way ahead of Clare. Clare started, they were so nervous, so cumbersome, dropping balls, not controlling ball, being cleaned out in that half-forward line. No ball going into the full forward line, so they take off the corner forward naturally. You know, the Juna B solution. You know? But you know, there's a bit of life of them in the last 10 minutes. So it's the scoreline that will give most encouragement to Clare. As Liam says, will the 4-week thing, the 4 games in a row, will that keep him? A little bit of evidence there in the last 10 minutes of it.
Yes.
Not the same fire in Tipperary. But like John McGrath was controlling the show up front in the first 20-25 minutes. He's roaming out the field. Clare have Shane Amori, who's the fastest back to have. You need someone who has speed to go with him. How they haven't made that change, I just don't know. So really, you know, despite being totally out-hurled, they're only 4 points down. They're in the game, and it's in their own hands now.
And the biggest gap in that 4 points, Jackie, was the goal that Tipperary got. Now, they took this well at a period in the game where they were actually playing well.
Yeah, at this stage, Michael, Tipperary were rampant, and it was just a routine puck out down on top of Bonamar, and a great little flick, which just opens up the whole defence there. And Billy McCarthy times his run to perfection, picks it up straight away. But this was kind of indicative of Clare in the first half. David McInerney, he half challenges. He should have a thou shall not pass attitude here. Brian Lohan would just take that man out, it'd be a free and that is. And that just typified what Clare were in the first half. Jerry O'Connor gave a war cry at the start of it about, you know, the stars align, all that. For the first 25 minutes, Clare were just going around. They were seeing stars because they were, you know, they were all over the place. There was no intensity, there was no fight, there was no structure to the play. But I can't for the life of me understand when you have John Conlon, 14, big abrasive man. You know, why not feed him every ball? Every ball. You know, having played in the full back line, what do you hate? A big physical lad that catches the ball and runs at you. And Clare have that, but they're just not using them.
Well, and also the fact that Clare they was well off giving that ball into John Conlon because they're not too accurate in front of the post themselves. I mean, some of those wides, if Sherlock Nan had any hair, he'd be pulling it out at this stage.
Exactly. Some of the wides are absolutely terrible. You know, Conor McGrath here, great pass out, and Colm Galvin. The problem is the fellas we usually rely on so much, you know, and have such a great record of scoring points from long distance. But, you know, look at that. You know, Jamie Shannon. That's a sign of Clare today. You know, a simple pass, dropping the ball, then taking a Hail Mary shot from way out and the ball goes wide. You know, it's a sign of a team maybe that's over anxious, over nervous, like, you know. As
Tony Kelly, you wouldn't expect Tony Kelly to be missing those.
How many has 3. Tony Kelly? Have we ever seen him missing? Now, in fairness to him, after missing 3, he's after scoring 2. Which is a very good sign of a bit of character. That he's not discouraged by it. So, despite everything having gone wrong for Clare, they're still in the game. So if you're in the dressing room now and you're saying, "Jesus, lads, we're going to win this," you know, because things have gone our way, and maybe Tip now will tire. So, you know, I'd be very, you know, I wouldn't be as downbeat as we should be. There's a great chance there they can still win it.
And there is for sure. Okay, we have a short break to take. Back with more straight after that.
EAA Hurling Championship.
A reminder of the half-time scoreline at Semple Stadium. It is Tipperary leading Clare by 1 goal and 10 points to 9 points. Just give you a mention of the other big game on today, of course, this at the Gaelic grounds between Limerick and Waterford. Half-time score there, Limerick 2-14, Waterford 7 points. The Limerick goals coming from Garrod Hegarty got the first, and then Graham Mulcahy securing the second one there. And also, by the way, Shane Dowling has scored 8 points for Limerick in that. Jackie Turrell, if things stood as they are at the moment, you would have Limerick, Tip and Cork in the box seats going into next weekend.
Yeah, you would. That's a huge first half score. 2-14 in one half is unreal. And to think that Shane Dowling has scored 8 points, he didn't even play last week.
That's right.
So Limerick are building a real strong panel down there. Competition for places is high, but you can just see from 2-14 the confidence that they've got from the last two performances. And John Kiley and his management, they'll be delighted, and they should hold on, and that will give them a great chance. Munster final and team up for the year.
Okay, all right, let's get back to the match that we are watching here. So 4 points the difference. Tip have the lead. What's going to happen in the second half, Liam?
Well, I think the next 10 minutes are absolutely massive for Tip. I think if they can kick on and get to 6 or 7 ahead, I think that'll be enough for cushion for them. But obviously Clare will be in that dressing room saying to themselves, lads, we've hurled for 10 minutes in that first half and we're still only 4 points down. So they'll really see it as an opportunity. Yeah. The question is who's going to kick on in this first 10 minutes. I think it's a defining 10 minutes for both teams.
It is, because Clare had a goal opportunity, of course, obviously Ger as well in that first half, and we really thought this was going to...
That's the thing, yeah, that it's a terrific goal of it. And here we are, you know, their best chance here is the high ball in. Peter Duggan wins it. Look at David Reedy, if he just passes the ball across him, you know, and the ball is in the net. So, there is Peter Duggan. He takes it off his left now. He's well hooked, but if he had that bit of vision to see David Reedy the other side, the ball would be in the net, now we'd have only 1 point in it. So they are creating chances, but as Jackie pointed out there, their main chances are coming from getting the ball fast into the full forward line. You know, that with Conlon inside, Duggan racing in from the wing, that's their main thing, because in fairness, that half forward line have been cleaned under the ball, you know. Their best tactic is the route one today, you know. Forget about all this running they were doing before as the game is panning out, because, you know, the two Tip midfielders are drifting back. They're blocking up that area there, that middle third. They're blocking that. So when they get the ball, the best thing is over those and into the full forward.
But I think also in the last 10 minutes when Clare started to get on top, they allowed Donald Toohey to pick out the cornerback. They allowed to give him the sharp ball. I think they need to push up on the Clare backs.
And he's getting over the head.
So that they force it down on the half backline, because the half backline of Tipperary are on top. And once that ball's landing down on top of him, but he's changing the game, and I think Tip need to shove up. If I was Michael Ryan, I would tell him, shove up on your man and don't let the sharp puck out. I think the sharp puck out has hurt them in the last 10 minutes.
I'm interested in the point that you guys were mentioning before the break, about the fact that Tip are playing on the road now for the last couple of weeks, and that if this game, Jackie, is tight going into that last 10 or 15 minutes, this could be when it all shows. Because we spoke about, obviously, the bright start they've made. Question now is, can they make a bright finish? Yeah, and looking at the history of the last couple of games, they do slump, and when they slump, they totally go out of the game. So Tip really need to be at, as Liam has alluded to, and they probably need to be looking at options and players coming off the bench just to keep things fresh and keep Tipperary right there with it. Let's head back to the commentary box to Marty and Donal.
So much at stake here at Semple Stadium. There are 4 points between the teams. No changes on either side. Tipperary doing all the hurling in the first half. Still only 4 points in front. So as Liam was saying there to Michael, the next 10 minutes are crucial. Tipperary blocking, hooking, working hard. Cleary. Back for David McInerney. Flips it up into the corners over towards Shane O'Donnell. Ball breaks Paddy Marr. Still Paddy. In comes Sean O'Brien from Newport with the white helmet, just there struggling hard. And Tipperary have it with Ronan Marr. Noel McGrath calls. Sends it down towards the corner to Brother John. And the referee is blowing his whistle, and I think he's going to give a throw ball here. Tension in the air here at Semple Stadium. Championship on a knife edge for both of these counties, really. There are all sorts of permutations. And certainly Tipperary, much better performance from them in this, their 4th game in the round robin.
This is a sort of a grey area, Marty. Here, watch Paddy Maher, he jumped up and David Reid just kept his hands out. And I didn't think there was any free there, either one way or the other, but anyway.
Soft free, to say the least. Tipperary free down towards Shane McCannon. Great battling skills by Patrick O'Connor. It says leave it. Comes charging out, showing a bit of leadership, but he's seems to have picked the sliotar off the ground, judging by what the referee is doing. Let's have a look.
I think he said that he dropped his head and was barging. Watch it now here. But I didn't see any great free there either, to be honest with you. I think John McGrath stood his ground and Pat O'Connor couldn't get out, and the referee's moving in out 20 metres.
And there's an extra distance given to Tipperary for descent. And that little bit of frustration that was creeping in when Tony Kelly, just before half-time, seems to have permeated its way now to the second half. And Clare need to remain focused and not indeed arguing with the referee.
Yeah, well, the important thing is at least that the referee would have explained to Pat O'Connor what exactly he was blowing for. At least that would suffice, that he said you were barging and I'm not going to allow that. At least he'd know the next time he's trying to come over the ball what he should or shouldn't do.
6 first half points for Jason Ford, getting his first in the second half. And the Clare supporters not agreeing with the referee's decision. Tuck out from Donald Toohey, straight down the middle. Paul Barrett unable to hold on to it. Peter Duggan battling 3 against 2 there momentarily. Good work by Malone. Pulled on, stopped by Jamie Shanahan. Ball into the middle towards Colin Galvin, unmarked momentarily. 3 Tipperary lads couldn't hook him. The ball is dropping in, and Brian Hogan. Oh, great catch. 6'5", Brian Hogan. He's able to do that. Good hands down towards Bonamar. Conor Cleary. No time to deliberate. Has to be fast. Comes back out for as Billy McCarthy. Billy getting by the first challenge. Flicks it forward. Big chase by Paul Malone. Giving it back outside. John McGrath changes direction. Goalkeeper Donald Toohey comes off his goal line. Deals with the situation. And goes for distance. Belts it down into the Tipperary half of the field. Podge Collins is chasing after it. Chasing after him is Dunamar. Podge Collins on the turn, and the umpire nods his head and says, put it up. It's over the bar. Podge Collins has arrived in the Munster Championship.
Colin Galvin hitting the ball in there, and Brian Hogan just up over the line, but that can be dodgy at times if you're if the weight is on the back foot when you come down. Sometimes you can drop over the line, but Hogan very commanding there. You know, very tall and well able to take the balls that are going over the bar.
Still 4 points between the teams. Pulled up superbly by Jack Brown. Good work here by Tony Marr. Gets by the first challenge and whips it into the air and whips it between the posts. He is a fine hurler. We've known him for years. A leader on and off the field, and a smashing hurler as well.
Tony Marno, of course, just before half-time moved out to left half-back with Brendan Marr occupying the centre-back on Tony Kelly. I think the man marked him, and you know, he's come right back into the game, and a great score from him there.
David Reedy flicks it in, trying to get it in towards John Conlon. Conlon started from behind, but he got it somehow. Still there battling. Shane O'Donnell is in there as well, flicking it up to first Tony Kelly, trying to get it across. It was half blocked. And Tipperary have the situation under control. Down towards Noel McGrath, just inside his own 45-metre line, giving it back. There's Brendan Marr. Goes for distance. Plenty of clear defenders there. Jason Ford was underneath it, so too was Bonamar. David McInerney is there. Jamie Shanahan. Nice hand pass between them. Jack Brown from Ballier drops it in and drops it over the bar. Brilliant score by the Ballier man. Well, the forwards aren't doing it, the backs have to come up.
Great score there from Jack Brown, and a little bit of interplay with himself and Jamie Shanahan. Tipped down the side and claiming that Shanahan, you know, threw the hurley into the body of somebody, and that could have been a free, but a great score, and that'll be inspiration for if they can build on it.
Jamie Shanahan goes highest, bats it down, but out over the sideline ball for Tipperary. 4 points at half-time, the difference, 4 points right now.
Yeah, and obviously, Marty, Tip have brought Brendan Marr as sitting to the centre-back position. He's going to probably man-mark Tony Kelly as much as he can, which opens up the middle then for direct ball into Podge Collins, Shane O'Donnell and John Conlon if they can work it in low and fast.
Sideline cut didn't quite work out for Tipperary. Goes off David Reedy, and that's going to be a sideline ball for Tipperary once more.
The linesman there, Limerick referee John Murphy, very certain as to what the decision was, and Declan Fanning having a little chat with Ronan Marr about that sideline ball in.
Ronan Marr connects beautifully and cuts it superbly, although it goes out over the end line. He's still got the boss of the hurley spot on.
Yeah, Marty with a hands a puck out to Clare now, which is a fact in attacking delivery if they can win possession.
Brilliant play by Brendan Marr, getting there ahead of David Reedy. Over for Shamey Cannon. Shamey over for Billy McCarthy. The referee has blown his whistle. He's giving a free for a pull across. And there's another opportunity for Tipperary to stretch their lead. Brendan Marr easily beating David Reedy. Yellow card for Conor Cleary. Free going to be taken between the 45 and 65, Clare side of the field. Jason Ford standing over the ball. His consistency is so admirable. He really is at the top of his game at the moment. Donald Toohey sends it down towards Tony Kelly. Joe Dwyer from Killinall got a touch. Sideline ball this time for Clare.
Yeah, and Tony Kelly seems to have come to the left wing now, and David Reedy has gone into the middle. And for Tip, Bonner Marr has come out to the right wing with Noel McGrath occupying the centre forward position.
Nice ball inside from Tony Kelly. Ball becomes loose and available. Shane O'Donnell. So up into the air, it lifted up, and John Conlon is back there is Cathal Barrett, taking control, assertive, good hurler, dropping it in around the house again. And Jack Brown, stick work, not too sure what he was intending to do, but he concedes a 65. And that's a free and an easy 65 conceded, and a ball that really Clare should have dealt with here.
Yeah, just gave it a bit too much of a touch. He was trying to clean it up and make sure he was bringing it out towards the sideline, and just gave it too much of a little whack under pressure, and 65. And Jason Ford has been deadly from these all the year, both at third level and for Tip throughout the league and in the championship as well, so we would expect him to get this.
Well, he hasn't missed one yet. Face of concentration, fully focused on the target.
I hope you're not putting the commentator's curse on him here, Marty, with not missing one yet.
That looks good, and the umpire goes for his flag.
Yeah, and if you look at the way he strikes the ball, he just comes through with a lovely rhythm. He doesn't hit it too hard, and the ball flies off straight as a dive, and that'll give them good comfort now as they push into a 6-point lead. David
Fitzgerald first Patrick O'Connor. Tipperary have produced 2 comebacks in a row, 9 and 11 points down. Clare now have to do what Tipperary did. Slither is still inside. Coming back is Pádraig Maher. Stopped on this occasion. Shane O'Donnell coming through. Surely that is a free in. And eventually the referee blows his whistle. And you can see the protestations coming from the Clare lads.
Yeah, well, I think this was a free out to Tipperary. But if we watch it here now, well, it's gone beyond, but Pádraig Maher made a crucial error there. The ball should have been passed back. I think Seamus Kennedy was free 10 metres inside him. Just a simple top back, and they had an out on the right hand side, and they tried to get out through the players, and a simple tap over the bar now for Peter Duggan.
That's exactly what he does. He also scored 6 points in the first half. He's on 7 now, and it keeps Clare in touch. Trailing by 5 points. 11 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, Martin, these are the little things. Pádraig Maher gave the ball back there to Seamus Kennedy, Tipper on the attack, and Huno got down for another score. And now it's back now to 5, and that gives Clare a little heart.
Puck out is a long one. Jack Brown bravely comes forward. High challenge. And the referee feeling that the Ballyea man was fouled, and that's going to be a free for Clare. just between the 20-metre line and 45-metre line.
Just saw the hurley going high there in over his shoulder. Anytime this happens, it's going to be a free.
Shane Murray is on, 6-mile bridge man. He's a real wizard on the ball, very speedy, very skillful. David Fitzgerald is the player that's going off. Meanwhile, Donald Toohey takes the free, drops it in towards John Conlon. He needs a touch, the ball is loose and available, and there's nobody there. Comes out first, David Reedy. Colm Galvin was available, but there was a chop down, and the referee has blown his whistle, and he's giving a free into Clare.
We just watched the replay coming up here, and a crucial mistake here by Carl Barrett. What you know when John Conlon flicks the ball across, you know, he just knocks it across. Now Carl Barrett comes in. He should have picked the ball. He had lots of time going out the wing. He just struck it back out to the Clare, and that's the second free now handed to Clare, which brings them a little bit closer and keeps the confidence high for Clare. Instead of Tip should have been down the field with 2 attacks. And these are little mistakes that you know, really get on managers' goat as such. And Tip, because of the 4 weeks in a row, they'll want to have a bit of a cushion as they enter the last 10 minutes.
It's back to just 4 points between the teams again. Bonamar stepping forward to the challenge, dropping this in, should be the keeper's ball. Donald Toohey watched it all the way, goes for distance, dropping it down towards David Reedy and Malone. The 2 of them go up for it. John McGrath grabs the slither and sends it back, and sends it straight between the posts for his 2nd point of the game. Great skill, really good score.
2 Clare people clash, and John McGrath picks up the loose ball and over the bar.
John Conlon chasing after this. He gets inside the cover. Still John Conlon. Shane O'Donnell is there with him. Referee, I think, has blown his whistle. The ball is in the net, but it won't count, as the referee had obviously made a decision. So it's another free for Peter Duggan, just to the right of the Tipperary posts. And this time he's going to have a word with Seamus Kennedy for the challenge. He's going to show Seamus Kennedy the yellow card. Jules Starr plays with St Mary's in the hurling, Clonmel Commercials in the football, and really good at both. But he picks up a yellow card here as Peter Duggan takes the free and gets his 9th point of the game. And remember that Peter Duggan scored a goal and 10 points against Waterford, and 4 points against Cork. Has been very much the main scoring threat in terms of frees, doing what Jason Ford is doing for Tipperary. Puck out from Brian Hogan. Going down the middle. Ball loose and available again. This time it's Conor Cleary and Peter Duggan. Gets it out for Shane Murray. He loves to run with the slither. Getting past the first challenge. And the second. And taken down. Much better. And the Clare supporters getting behind the dashing skills of Shane Murray.
Yeah, and all of a sudden now you look at the scoreboard after this free, possibly, and there's only 3 points behind them, Tip having been 6 points up at one stage. And I think Tip need to reconfigure their forward line a little bit. If I was them, I'd bring Jason Ford onto the 40, put Noel McGrath maybe in corner forward and Shamie Cannon right at the edge of the square. They're not getting, you know, the balls aren't sticking now, and I think that might be a better balance for them.
Peter Duggan will once again raise a white flag. His 10th point of the match. And now, on 50 minutes gone, listen to the roar. They're coming all the way from west, north, south and east Clare. They're beginning to believe that maybe perhaps the hurling championship is not over for them yet in the Banner County. Batted down on this occasion, picked up by Carl Malone. Available if he needs him is this man, David Reedy. David Reedy looks around and goes for John Conlon. Good decision. John Conlon unable to control it. 2 Tipperary men around him. Todd Collins is there too. Floats it high. Is it going between the posts? And the umpire again is going for Hawkeye. Unsure. Better off when you have technology available to go for it. But once again, this is a crucial moment, particularly for Clare, because they've been 4, 5 and 6 points adrift. This would bring down Tipperary's lead to just 2.
Yeah, and of course Hawkeye isn't working in the stadium. I was telling them, don't know, but there's a point. They're communicating quickly, and that's the point again. So that's 4 in a row now for Clare, and really the momentum is with them, and they've taken over.
Just to clarify as well, there's a call, we have it here now. Just to clarify, any delay in relation to Hawkeye is in fact added on by the referee, we believe.
Well, I was under the impression that it wasn't early on, but we clarified it with one of the officials, the refereeing officials, and they tell me that it's no, it's up to the referee to add on the time, and that was much quicker this time, of course. I was speaking to Noel O'Donoghue, who was operating Hawkeye today, and he told me it wasn't working for some reason in the first half, but it obviously is back in operation now.
Sideline cut stopped on this occasion by Conor Clare. Hefty challenge, fair challenge. Ball still available. Clare shows his football skills from Milton Malbay. Gets as far as Jamie Shanahan from 6 Mile Bridge. There's nobody home except Pádraig Maher, who will send the ball back down into the Clare half of the field. Conor Clare underneath it. Ball becomes loose and available again. Shane Murray over towards David Reedy. David Reedy. The ball is being directed in towards the corner. Podge Collins gave him the indication. Can Collins make it before the end line or indeed the sideline? Still Podge thought about giving it a little chip. The ball is still there. It's eventually picked up as Tipperary come away with it. This is Donamar. Ball has gone out over the end line and wide.
Yeah, and excellent umpiring there, I must say, because the umpire came right out to the where the struggle was going on. He was going to be on hand. You know, sometimes umpires stand by the post, but that was excellent umpiring there by the official. Came right out to see what was happening and was on hand to just wave wide.
Full credit to John Kelly from Palatine for doing his work very efficiently. Again, it's picked up here by Patrick O'Connor. Noel McGrath chasing after. In comes Colin Galvin. Sweet little hurler. Tried the fancy stuff. Comes for his Bonamar. And Bonamar puts it over the bar. It's his first score in this Munster Championship match. But again, Clare being a little bit too fancy. That ball should have been driven down the field.
Well, Colin Galvin was trying to get it out to a loose player outside, and he got caught, and Bonamar over the bar. And that was a very important score for Tip. It stopped the rot a little bit as Clare have completely taken over.
But the fancy hand passing is not working for Clare. As Podge Collins tried something there that didn't work. Ball could still come out his way. He's wearing the number 25. Ronan Maher is the number 8 for Tipperary. Brendan Maher is on his knees, stalemate, just inside the Tipperary 45-metre line. Referee is there. Eventually he's going to blow his whistle. He's going to give a throw ball. 54 minutes on the clock. The ball is turning quickly. Picked up by Podge Collins. Trying to get past the first challenge. Hit a fair shoulder. Good defending on this occasion by Carl Barrett, who wasn't standing around for the fancy stuff. Picked up by Shane O'Donnell. Gives it all the way back. Bonamar is arriving on the late bus, but he's putting up pressure on Clare. Great work by Tipperary, and it takes a lot of hard work for Patrick O'Connor to relieve the pressure. Back into the Tipperary half of the field. Chasing after this is Colin Galvin with Brendan Maher. Last touch was by Colin Galvin. Sideline ball for Tipperary.
Great passage of play there, Martin, last 3 or 4 minutes, you know, full-blooded. Players are giving everything, and that takes an awful lot of, you know, a lot of energy out of Tip. You know, this is their 4th game in successive weekends, and Clare looked a fresher team now. They looked a hungrier team, getting better ball into their forwards. And I see David Reedy has pulled away over to the right corner forward position, and no one on him. If Clare get the ball quickly, it could be an option for a goal.
Sideline ball taken. John McGrath gets the loose ball and sends it straight between the posts. He's a special talent, the Lochmore Castleiney man. His anticipation is only matched by his brilliant stick work.
Yeah, John McGrath is now operating a right half forward, and Noel McGrath has gone to full forward. Shamie Callan centre forward, and Bonamar has gone into the corner on the right corner, with Jason Ford gone to the left corner and Billy McCarthy still on the left. So complete changes for Tipperary, and they need them.
Donald Tuohy's puck out is a poor one, easily gathered by John McGrath. Sends it back down towards the corner, and Tuohy will have to take the puck out again and hope for better direction on the second occasion. Jamie Shanahan is unmarked in front of the stand. Donald Tuohy looks around, and there is nobody immediately available, so I'm sure he's going to go for distance.
Yeah, because Billy McCarthy and John McGrath are dropping way back there into the middle, and that puts pressure on the goalkeeper to try and find his man.
John Conlon and Peter Duggan over there for Clare. Coming out with it, however, is right corner back Sean O'Brien from Newport. Gets in his clearance. Tipperary go into the attack. Jason Ford down for his Noel McGrath. Nice pickup. needs a bit of support, and there's a free given to Tipperary. And the Clare lads looking bewildered.
Yeah, just a little knock of his hurley there, I think, by Conor Clare. I think just knocked the hurley out of his hand, and the referee judged him to be being fouled. But these two scores that Tip have picked up now, John McGrath's point, and we assume that Jason Ford will get this crucial scores for Tip, and that little interception that gave Bonamar the point, that stopped the rot really, because Clare were really on a run, and you know, you need a score or something just to break it up. Tip did with that Bonamar point, and this score now, we'd say, from Jason Ford will push him to 5 points ahead again if he converts.
That's the angle, and that's an easy one for the Silvermines clubman. Now on 10 points in this Munster Championship, 5 points again re-established, and Tipperary coming back, and the mistakes by Clare are self-imposed. Bonamar, David McInerney giving it back to his goalkeeper Donald Toohey, dropping it down towards Podge Collins and John Conlon. Breaking ball, chasing after it is Peter Duggan, going to get there first. Over this side, unmarked is David Reedy, but the referee blows his whistle and he's given a free into Clare.
Ball knocked on there, and Peter Duggan's pace, and you knew Paddy Maher was just going to foul him, rather than let him get through, you know, pick up the yellow card and take one for the team, so to speak. And previous to that, Bonamar got a gift from Donald Toohey. Should have just knocked the ball behind to John McGrath, who had a sitter of a point there waiting for him, decided to take it on himself and lost it. Clare come up the field, and another chance now for them to narrow the gap to 4 points.
Still plenty of time for Clare. 58.5 minutes played. This to reduce down Tipperary's lead to 4 points. 118 Tipperary, 16 points Clare.
Yeah, and Joe Dwyer there suffering from cramp as Peter Duggan knocks it over the bar. That's an indication maybe of the toughness of the games, you know, and it just shows the pace has increased enormously. Shane O'Donnell has now gone to the left corner, and Podge has gone to the right, and subbing for Clare.
Ian Galvin is coming on for Tipperary, or for Clare I should say, instead of David Reedy. As Jake Morris is also coming on for Tipperary, so the substitutions playing a role here. Yeah. Puckout is dropping in again. Loose. Conor Cleary is in there, just manages to kick it away a little bit. Oh, fantastic skill. Absolutely beautiful. Shamie Callan.
Well, I think Conor Cleary wasn't aware that Shamie Callan was behind him, and at the last second he just won the ball, didn't even catch it. What a beautiful score, you know. And Callan obviously isn't right back to match fitness yet, I think, and you know, suffering from a back problem. You can see it there at times, not picking the ball as well as he used. But Bonamar now being withdrawn, and Jake Morris, similar type of player coming on, and he has added a bit of freshness to Tip in the last few matches, and he'll certainly put pressure on the Clare backs.
Tipperary are going to introduce another substitution as well. This is Alan Flynn, and Joe Dwyer is going to make way. Alan Flynn normally plays cornerback, had a great league campaign, played against Limerick when he made his championship debut, starting for the first time. Peter Duggan leaving it for Malone, sending it in towards Shane O'Donnell. Sean O'Brien manfully standing guard. Stalemate. Referee is going to blow his whistle, has blown his whistle, and is going to give a throw ball. 5 points re-established by Tipperary. 10 minutes left in Semple Stadium.
Yeah, but Marty, I've just noticed that, you know, Donald Toohey hit 2 or 3 long puckouts there, and they weren't defended well by Tip. They went through into the full forward line, and you know, created a little bit of panic. And if Clare can continue this, maybe there's a goal there for them.
Tremendous passion by Pádraig Maher. Leader, captain, brilliant hurler.
Yeah, Podge Collins gets his hurley around, Pádraig Maher's hurley there, right, and just you know, judged for a foul. It'll tap really, nothing much in it, but relieves the clearance, and Brian Hogan can land this now at the edge of the square.
Clare introduce a substitution. This is Jason McCarthy, and he's on for Carl Malone. As the ball is dropping in. around the Clare goalpost. Patrick O'Connor looked around and spotted the slither. Sends it back into the Tipperary half of the field. Todd Collins arriving just a little bit too late. Ball is sent over towards Billy McCarthy. Being pursued. Still Billy. There's Jake Morris. Jake Morris cutting inside, trying to get a ball in towards Donald Toohey. Toohey stops it and will launch a Clare attack, aiming for John Conlon or Peter Duggan. Any one of them will do from a banner point of view. It is Tipperary that have the situation, well, almost had the situation under control. Seamie Callan operating around midfield now. Little jink left and right. Backfires Conor Marr, but it was over-carrying by Seamus Kennedy, and that's going to be a free for Clare. 62.5 minutes gone. 5 points between the teams, and right now Clare hopes and dreams are a little bit tentative, to say the least, and if they're going to rescue this situation, I think they're going to have to find the back of the Tipperary net. I think so, Marty, or even, you know, add a couple of points and put the pressure on, but a little harsh, I thought, on Seamus Kenny that time. I thought he had got the pass away before he took the last step, but Paul Dwyer was right there and he had judged that he had carried it maybe 5 steps, I'm not sure, but a good strike there now for Peter Duggan. Peter Duggan has been a master of consistency since this game started at 2 o'clock. That's an even dozen points for Peter Duggan, as Dara Corrie is coming on, and going off is Colm Galvin, newcomer to the Clare team over the last number of weeks, the man who certainly made a big name in the world of soccer as well. He's from Tulla. And Corrie is more of a forward, I think, and you know, they brought John Conlon out to centre forward, now Corrie to full, and Tony Kelly to midfield, and they hope that Tony Kelly can win a few balls and maybe get a couple of long range scores and get him back in this game. Peter Duggan helping out his defence, getting away from the shackles of the Tipperary attacker, and then hits a ball that is going well wide. The 11 commandments, thou shalt not panic. They need to extend the ball in. Marty, we're looking now at, you know, almost 64 minutes on the clock, which is about 10 minutes to go. It's all about composure from here. Use, you know, play the percentage, keep your composure, and put the pressure on as Tipper move Paddy Maher back to full back now, and Seamus Kennedy out to left half back. Once again, it's John McGrath. Nice ball inside to Carl Barrett. They're queuing up. Here comes a goal, and somehow Donald Toohey produced a save, and certainly that is remarkable. Hit the post, I believe. As a counter-attack, there's a chance on here. An opportunity for Clare. We're queuing up at the other end. There's a chance here that has to hit the back of the net, and it has! Clare are back in the game. Ian Galvin with the sliotar. A move that should have produced a Tipperary goal. The ball seemed to come off the post. I thought initially Donald Toohey had saved it, and from that move all the way down to Ian Galvin, back of the Tipperary net. Yeah, what a score, Marty, what a passage of play. Right, Jake Morris, you put, you know, beautiful pass through Carl Barrett onto Jake Morris, but the angle took him slightly outside and hit the post, and once Clare went in the attack, Tipper down the field, and there was lots of space. Great run through, and a pass to Ian Galvin, run through by Todd Collins, pass, and no hope for Brian Hogan there, right down into the corner. 2 points in it now, 8 or 9 minutes maybe left, if you like, and you know, just 1 point between the teams. 119 Tipperary, 118 Clare. 65 minutes and 29 seconds gone in this match. They have stuck in, Clare, without playing really well. Their passion, their belief has been tested, but somehow they're still here. And perhaps that break of 2 weeks, having had games against Cork and Waterford, Tipperary playing their 4th game in 21 days, perhaps it is a factor. Maybe it is, Marty, and this injury now at the moment is no harm to Tip, you know, just to kill the momentum a little bit. You know, we're looking at a clock, 4 minutes left in normal time, and there'll probably be 3 or 4 extra to be played, and I see that Mickey Carl and Willie Connors are warming up for Tip, and they have a substitution to make now, because I think the player who's down injured, I'm not quite sure, it was it Dunamar. I think it's Dunamar. I think it's Dunamar as well, Donald. And Mickey Carl is probably coming on for him, and I'm not sure where Willie Connors will come on, but the momentum is now with Clare. The 4 Sundays in a row might take a little bit out of Tip,
Clare really have gone on the front foot in the last 5 minutes. So watch it here now again.
Great finish by Ian Galvin. This was the challenge between John Conlon and Dunamar. That's where the injury happened. And then there was an opportunity for Clare, which ended up in the back of the net.
Only one winner there anyway, Marty, with John Conlon. Big man, big, strong, and he caught him on the inside of the shoulder, I'd say. Maybe, not sure what is his leg, or he might have got caught. Dead leg maybe, as well as getting a good shoulder. But Tipno really have the leadership and composure, and next goal wins as Willie Connors comes on.
Round of applause for Dunamar from the Burgess Club, of course, that produced the great Donie Nealon in the past, as Willie Connors is on and Brendan Maher has gone off. So these the bench, as they often say in 21st century GAA, the bench is important, the substitutes, the panel, the squad, call it whatever you like, but now these guys have a real opportunity and they have to step up to the plate.
Yeah, I think they've brought Noel McGrath around the middle of the field now, and Willie Connors probably, and Noel McGrath, the midfielders, with Kyle Barrett back to right half back.
Michael Ryan is looking on as he sees Dunamar come off. They have been the better team for a lot of it, but just couldn't put Clare away. There's 1 point between the sides. Tipperary 119, Clare 118. About 2 minutes left, but there is going to be extra time now due to injury. Tipperary defence. Clare defence all over the shop. Shane Callan coming through, and has he missed it? He has put it over the bar. Good score, just inside the post for his second point of the game.
Yeah, and a tight game, Marty. That shows experience. No point in trying to go and get a goal from that angle. Knocked it over the bar, and at least now makes life a bit more difficult for Clare. But it's jittery time for backs when you're only 2 points ahead.
John Conlon comes out to gather it, fails to do so. The ball is still there as Tipperary playing with their hearts now and passion. Clare chasing after it. Good call for Noel McGrath. Pumps it down into the Clare half of the field. Battling here with Patrick O'Connor. Coming across is David McInerney. Donald Toohey calls for the goalkeeper. Switches over to Jamie Shannon just outside his own 45. Gives it long. Has to go long. 2 points between the teams. 68 minutes and 58 seconds played. Surely the Clare man was being fouled, if not once but twice, and the ball has gone out over the end line and wide.
I've often said in commentary, Marty, it's only a free when the ref blows the whistle. But he seemed to be impeded, but that's... Referees are sometimes very, very reluctant in the last few minutes of the game to give anything like that unless it's clear cut. And I think Brian Hogan now will just go rule one with these puck outs from here on in.
69.5 minutes gone. Time added on hasn't actually been put up yet. They're consulting down along the sideline as the ball comes down. Clare have it once more. Good work by David McInerney. Thinks about giving it a hand pass, but he's taken too many steps, and it's a free for Tipperary just outside the Clare 45-metre line. And once again, the clock will tick towards the magic number beyond 70 and give Tipperary extra oxygen to breathe. 5 minutes of additional time has just been announced in this Munster Championship.
And that will give Clare a bit of hope, Marty. The longer the game goes on, the fresher they are. And just David McInerney just stepped inside when maybe he should just give him the pass. And chance for Jason Ford, and a crucial strike here. Very important that he gets it and pushed him 3 points clear.
He's already scored 10 times in this match. This would give them a little bit of breathing space. It's gone well to the left. It's the first one he's missed.
Yeah, and if you look at that very tentative strike there, Marty, I spoke about how well he was hitting them with a bit of rhythm, not too hard, that one. Poor pick up and a very tentative strike.
Ball is pucked out again towards John Conlon and Peter Duggan, picked up by Podge Collins. Jinks to the left, gives it to John Conlon, who wasn't quite expecting it. Goes along the sideline, still John Conlon, from a very difficult angle. That would be incredible. Incredible, John Conlon. Shouldn't really have scored from there. Incredible pressure, and yet look at this. Beautiful, great score.
And all the swing there, you miss a free, Marty, to push it 3 points clear. Ball comes up over the bar, and yet there's only 1 point in the minimum.
1 goal and 20 points Tipperary, 1 goal and 19 Clare. Wherever you're watching this on GA Go, around the country, around the world, this is now pulsating. Clare and Tipperary, the neighbours, battling it out. Can Clare get a draw? Can Tipperary survive? It's Clare that comes away with it, with Peter Duggan giving it out for Shane O'Morey. Shane O'Morey will run with it a little bit and then let fly. Diagonal ball over towards Clara Corrie. Referee has blown his whistle and he's given a free just to the left of the post. There was a push on the Tulla man, and that surely will level the match in Semple Stadium. They've only been level once in the game. This would level it for the second time, and we are now on 72 minutes. 75 is the magic number.
Yeah, I think what happened there, I think Sean O'Brien took Shane O'Donnell down rather than Paddy Maher and Dara Corrie. So simple free now in front of the goal for Peter Duggan, and that you know, when you look back, the miss by Jason Ford there was crucial. Draw match now instead of tipping a couple of points up, and they're struggling out for their life. I don't think a draw will do Tip any good, of course. It might do Clare because it'll come down to score difference if it's between Clare and Tip for the second or third place there in this competition.
Tipperary 1 goal 20 points. Clare 1 goal and 20 points. The ball comes to Noel McGrath. Change the scoreline immediately. 121 Tipperary, 120 Clare. It's his second point of the game. Is that the match winner? Tonal Tui takes the puck out, dropping it again towards Peter Duggan and John Conlon. Ball is loose, picked up again by Tipperary, who've watched that breaking ball so much. It's a sideline ball for the batter. Shane O'Morey, perhaps the man to take it. 2 minutes left in this pulsating, what turns out to be a pulsating encounter. John Bubbles out the wire, about to be introduced by his manager, Michael Ryan. Meanwhile, Peter Duggan stands over the sliotar, trying to take this sideline cut. 1 point between the teams. 73 minutes, 26 seconds. The tension is palpable. Survival in the championship depends on what happens next. Peter Duggan drives it in around the house. Ball picked up by Tipperary as they come away with it by Ronan Maher. Gives it for his Carl Barrett. Carl Barrett gets a good puck in, but not a great one. Comes for Shane O'Morey. About to be hooked, sends it over towards Podge Collins. Podge, what's he going to do? He's going to float it in high. He's going to float it over the bar. The sides are level again in Semple Stadium. What is it about this Munster Championship? It's magical. It's different. It's unique. And is there a winner here? Here comes Tony Kelly, bursting his way through. There's no time for a cup of tea or go out of the room at the moment because anything could happen here. Peter Duggan is available. It comes first, Shane O'Donnell. Gives it in first, Peter Duggan, who obviously thinks in a better position. Peter Duggan, what's he going to do? Oh, and it's gone over the bar. And Clare are in front. Amazing. Truly amazing. Clare haven't beaten Tipperary in the championship here in Perlis in, wait for it, 90 years. And not for 20 years have Tipperary been eliminated from the All-Ireland race as early as June 10th. And as Clare is coming good, they've played poorly in the first half. Lash it down, says Patrick O'Connor, and he does. Up towards Peter Duggan and John Conlon. Perhaps the 4 games in 21 days has had an effect as the Tipperary tiredness settles in. 74 minutes, 55 seconds. Everybody is standing on their feet in Semple Stadium. The tension is unbearable. Peter Duggan all on the sideline. Listen to the banner roar. They haven't beaten Tip in 90 years. And is this the day? Are they going to eliminate Tipperary out of the championship? The puck out is quickly taken. The referee blows his whistle. And Tipperary have been beaten in their own backyard. And Clare rejoice for the first time in 9 decades. What an amazing game in the very end. Tipperary, the better team, for 45-50 minutes. Something awoke in the Banner hearts, and somehow they found it within their skill set and within their heart to produce winning scores. 2-point victory over Tipperary.
And I think, Marty, really the Clare win there was set. Really, they went for it. That score by Peter Duggan was excellent in the last couple of seconds.
Full-time score in Semple Stadium. Clare 1 goal, 23 points. Tipperary 1 goal and 21.
Well, I'd have to say, Marty, you know, that once Clare got the bit between their teeth there, those last 2 scores were incredible. The last score by Peter Duggan, what an incredible score to take on. And, you know, Shane O'Donnell showed composure. He was the right man in the right place to get the ball for the second last goal and just nudged it on a little bit, and Clare came away with the win. But what a comeback. I suppose really the seminal moment was when Jake Morris hit the post. If he had got in, it was game all over maybe, but ball went up and Ian Galvin stuck in the back of the net, and that showed a heart. But Clare, I think, came here today, and once they got things right after about 25 minutes, I think they showed that they were refused to be beaten. What a comeback and what a game.
And you picked the right moment, Donald, because if Jake Morris had scored the goal, he was desperately unlucky. I thought Donald too, he had saved it. It seemed to come back off the post, and from that, but that would have wrapped up the game. But from that moment, Clare counter-attacked and got a goal from Ian Galvin.
Yeah, big turning point there, and you know, what a score.
Goal coming in the 64th minute, which certainly turned this game on its head. And perhaps that break, because in the last 5-6 minutes, Clare seemed to be fresher, Donald. Let's... Peter Duggan is down the sideline, we've just heard, and he's joined by my colleague, Claire McNamara.
Peter, congratulations, another extraordinary finish to this Munster Hurling Championship. You left it so late, but you got the crucial winning points.
Yeah, look, it took us a while to get going, but at a good few stages of the game, Tipper went on top of us. So it shows the heart that is in this team that we stay going back. We dug deep. Every time they got a score, we dug deep and we came back. It's brilliant to get a result. It's the first time in a long time we've got a result down below in Tip. And you can just see the amount of people. Clare haven't travelled greatly over the last few weeks and last few years, since 2013. And it showed the crowd that came out here today, and it really helped us. To be hearing the banner roar for the first time in a long time really helped us drive on this game.
Yeah, Jerry O'Connor spoke before the game about how the county needed a lift, and you've certainly given them that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, fingers crossed now they'll make an appearance in the next game and be just as loud, if not louder, and help us drive on in the Limerick game.
Yes, you're still alive and you've got Limerick at home.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, we irrelevant of we had to win both games, this game and Limerick game, if we want to get into the final. That's what we want to do. We want to win every game from now on, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to train hard. We're going to train as hard as we can and get as many results as we can.
Congratulations, Peter.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, great game, of course, this afternoon by Peter Duggan. So this is how things stand this evening. As you can see, Limerick topping the table. That's after their victory over Waterford. 226 to 115 is the way that one finished. And then Tipperary and Waterford down the other end of the table. Cork and Clare, of course, still very much in the mix. And as the Clare players were saying there, they have an opportunity now to go to a Munster final, but they stay in the championship, which is more important for them at this stage. Next weekend, by the way, it is Waterford and Cork at Semple Stadium, and Clare versus Limerick in Ennis. I suppose we should start here on the panel with Gerard Khan, because you had Tipperary hurling in the championship of 2018 dead and buried a couple of weeks ago. Now, I suppose the only thing we can say about it at this stage, you were just slightly ahead of yourself. But
if you just believe me, I have experience. Like, I've been here so long. All these young lads that are on Twitter and all these kinds of things saying, look, Nan is a so-and-so and all that. But sure, look, what I was just telling you, what anyone could see, that the energy was gone out of that Tipperary team. But, look at today is about Clare.
Yes.
In fairness
yes.
now.
Yeah.
So they came down, Jerry O'Connor had them beforehand. We all realised, supporters, players, everybody realised today was a seminal day for Clare. Today, they had to make that step forward. It looked for a long time as if they wouldn't. You know, their hurling was cumbersome, their touch was poor, they were nervous, but when it came to it, they did it. And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
They showed the heart that we haven't seen out of them from 5 years. And the crucial thing was a man who epitomised everything great about him 5 years ago in 2013, Podge Collins, came on. He scored 3 points.
Yeah.
He set up the goal. He brought a new life and energy into that forward line. And Peter Duggan, the new kid on the block, polished it off in the end. Now, there were faults in it. We'll forget about them because it was just a brilliant victory for Clare when it was most needed. And tonight, when I'm going home from here, I'm going to go through Tommy Vara and Nina and Ross just to remind them that the neighbours from hell are back after 15 years.
I suppose he's given fair warning to all the people to be waiting for you.
I know.
They'll be out with the eggs.
Liam, I suppose what happened today, you know, it wasn't out of the blue. We could see things weren't right this summer for Tip, and it just came unstuck today in the end.
Yeah, they went down. Like I would say, they gave it a fair shift again. You know, on 65 minutes, you know, they were up those 4 points, and it looked like they were going to kick on. They thought they had enough in the tank to get there. Obviously, the big turning point was Jake Morris' chance. You know, that would have put it 7 up, and it was a 6-pointer. It was a massive hammer blow at that time. Hit the post, and within 30 seconds, the ball was in the net with Ian Galvin, the other end of the pitch. So they fought valiantly, but there's no doubt about it. They were sucking for air in that last 10 minutes, and they just didn't have enough in the tank. They were sloppy to give away. Like Peter Duggan's scored, let's say, 12 or 13 points from play, 12 points from freeze, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. And like that, you just cannot give at that amount a freeze away to a guy like Peter Duggan. And ultimately, they came up that bit short, and, you know, they've got a lot of soul searching to do now over the summer, because ultimately, you know, when you don't finish in the top 5 or the top 3 out of a 5-team competition, well, you know, you can't have any qualms either.
Yeah, Jackie, Peter Duggan actually scored
15.
Yeah, 15 it was, you're right, in total. But the last 2 that he got were certainly, in the context of this match, they were so important for Clare.
Oh, they were crucial, and particularly because Clare have lacked leadership over the last number of years, but today they have a new leader in this guy, Peter Duggan. He was excellent all day, took the freeze on. When they needed him most, he stepped up. You know, a lot of people could say, why didn't he take the goal? But he knew a point at that stage would just get Clare over the line. Ball comes down literally 30 seconds later, and he has it over the bar again. But Clare have huffed and puffed since 2013. They arrived in 2013, thought they were going to take over the scene, but they didn't. And now they're back. Today they went to Thurles. They made a statement. Today it was a statement for Clare. They arrived there, they beat Tipperary, knocked them out of the Munster Championship, and they have leaders now. Peter Duggan, David McInerney immense again today, Podge Collins Shane and Murray when he came on was excellent as well. So Clare will really, this could be a turning point in this Clare team, because if they had lost again today, there'll be serious question marks asked of the team, the leadership and the management.
And next Sunday night in Ennis will be epic. You know, Limerick and Clare battling to be in the Munster final.
Sure.
You know, could you ask for better than that? House full, brilliant atmosphere. What a Munster Championship it has been so far.
Oh, totally, absolutely. You said it, turning point for Clare. There was a turning point in this match today, lads. What should have been a goal, which could have been a goal for Tipperary, ends up a goal for Clare.
Yeah, and it was a great chance. Carl Barrett, I think, done the right thing. But in fairness to Donald too, he was off his line like a rocket, and all of a sudden, in Shane Murray picked it up. But the lad said he brought a great energy into that team when he came on. And here you had Peter Duggan. Look at him hopping off Donamar, creating the momentum going in. And Podge, there's no other man you want on the ball there, because he has just wonderful feet. And Ian Gallivan done really well. I mean, what a step. And that's a superb finish, you know, the game. And at that stage, it was 119 to 18 points. It looked like Tip had done enough. Bang, goal, 119, 118, 5 minutes plus injury time to go. And I said it here as soon as I seen the 5 minutes going up on the last thing Tip needed today was 5 extra minutes, because they were literally, as I said, sucking for air, and they came up short.
But at the start of that, and it wasn't really noted there, the ball by Shane Murray, he was about 5 yards in it, and he drilled this beautiful ball up to Peter Duggan. It was a brilliant ball which set up the goal. It was a super move. And like, it just shows hurling, it's so fickle, like a chance miss at one end and the other, and that's it.
It is. Well, here at Croke Park, the Dubs are out in the field, so this is where we're going to say goodbye to our hurling analysts for the day. After the break, we will be turning our attention to football. We are here, as I said, at Croke Park for the Leinster Championship semi-final clash of Dublin and Longford. See you again shortly.